Geelong's late and improbable run towards the final six comes under serious examination at Kardinia Park when the Cats confront their nemesis Hawthorn. True, Geelong hammered the Hawks in round 4, but that was only their second victory over the men from Glenferrie Road in 8 years. Hawthorn stopped dramatically after half-time against Carlton last Saturday. Another loss will severely dent their prospects for the double chance. At Waverley Park, St Kilda goes for its 4th consecutive victory. It's a late dash with no real hopes for finals glory. But Collingwood, despite only 4 wins from its last 10, remain part of the big scene. The Magpies' recent record against the Saints is poor. Another loss today will be disastrous. The 2 big matches, Geelong Hawthorn, St Kilda Collingwood on AFL Today. And an added bonus today, the last exciting minutes of the match at Princes Park between Fitzroy and Adelaide, all on AFL Today. But firstly to Kardinia Park, Hawthorn had won 13 of the last 15 against Geelong, but it was an even money bet going in. The big news during the week was that Tony Hall and Gary Ayres both dropped for the Hawks. Let's go to the match in the second term at the start as we check the quarter time scores. Geelong away to a good start. They led 6-6 to Hawthorn 4-3. Both Ablett and Dunstall have been in sparkling form early. Our commentator Sandy Roberts, Dennis Cometti, Bernie Quinlan for the bounce of the ball of the second quarter.
So Barnes and Lawrence contest to the second quarter. Barnes wins it down towards Robert Scott, off to Couch. A hurried spiral punt towards Ablett. Beat. Collins marks at half back. Goes wide and finds Cooper. Cooper's almost tucked in the back pocket and just a slight shower of rain. Bunn and Lawrence combined. Starting to fall here at Kardinia Park. I don't think it'll settle in. There may be intermittent showers throughout the afternoon. Bunn's almost down towards the centre. Off to Jenkins. Kick wide, trying to accommodate Crawford. Hughes. Well, it's a rat on either side today. This is the Cats rat. Colbert.
Taking too long to get rid of that ball, Colbert.
Ablett lurking up in the forward line. Used the body magnificently. Langford asked the question, but there is really no question to be answered.
That's right, Sandy. It was just a little bit of body on body, really nothing. I'm surprised that he moved Chris Langford so easily.
Well, Ablett needs 6 today to move to 700 for his career.
We gather from that you didn't.
What's that?
Move him that easily.
I didn't. You're right.
Here he goes for number 4 for the day. Bending it back. 698 for his career. The Cats move further ahead. 7-6 plays 4-3.
He's an absolute magician, Gary Ablett. Absolute magician. I thought Colbert may have held onto the ball for far too long there. Ablett one way, then the other. Then we see this. Both players just a little nudge there and then held him off with the right hand before taking that mark. Good positioning of the body there by Gary Ablett.
So Geelong lead it by 21 points. Centre square infringement. Geelong to get the free kick, so everything is going their way. Barnes to take it. They're playing very good football. Steve Hawking, his 9th possession. He's been overshadowed by his brother, but only just. Downfield, Stoneham interferes with Madigan. He's doing a pretty good job because Stoneham was terrific last week against North Melbourne. Virtually unsided today. Madigan, high kick towards the outer side wing. In front, Hinkley uncontested. Well, Lawrence a bit slow to go there.
There's been too much of that this afternoon from the Hawks. Geelong players marking the uncontested.
Looking very sluggish. Hinkley takes on Platten on the mark. That's ambitious. Boots it out wide. Ablett. He's been penalised this time for a push. Now, the umpire had a stern talking to from Langford just moments ago after Ablett had taken the mark after the Colbert kick. Well, it seems side on to me. Langford got the free and the ball's out of bounds on the outer side. What do you think, Bernie?
Didn't appear to be a lot in it, Dennis, but I suppose psychologically, after the umpire's been ear bashed, It may have worked, so Chris Langford doing the right thing, saying a few words, although there was definitely not a free kick in the previous one.
Light rain persisting. Stoneham does the ruck work and goes in to get the football out himself. Almost succeeds with a little left foot chip.
Alan's hurt, I think.
Colbert somewhat untidily going over the top. Allen has it and half back. Kicks towards centre wing. If this rain persists, it will certainly change the pattern of the game. A wonderful pattern that was unfolding in the first quarter. .21 points is the margin, favouring Geelong. Barnes with a roundhouse right, belts it some 30 metres down towards the half-forward line. Cooper, a hurried kick. It's a high one towards centre wing. Platten waits down in front on all fours. Can't get it away. Eventually scooped wide towards Hudson. Gee, he's been quiet. Now Baxter. Up towards the left half-forward flank. Condon takes the mark. Here's Hudson. Hand pass to Jarman. Just inside 50, Jarman, and he can kick these. Sensational goal. The name of the game.
The Cats come forward again. Barnes got it across to Riccardi, who boots inside the 50. Ablett goes back on Langford. The defender got a fist on it and heads for the boundary line, and why not? And it will be thrown in. So Jarman getting a great goal just moments ago, but really that's the story of Hawthorn, particularly in this term, having to kick them from out there. Can't make a living getting them from that deep in the pocket. 7-6-5-3. Madigan takes a sly look. Stoneham comes over the top. It falls behind as Steele. Little snapshot. Just wide. It bounces through for a behind. Well, for all their dominance, as Malcolm Blight looks on, Geelong lead by only 16 points, and I think it's fair to say probably on the balance of play they should be about 25-30 points in front. Hawthorn clinging at the moment, but capable of much better as Langford goes to the outer side. Stoneham came reeling out of that pack. Colbert to Stoneham, and Stoneham against the boundary line, pulls it back to Scott. Broad smiles as Scott goes back to kick on goal from about 30 metres out.
Yes, Robert Scott has kicked 23 goals for the season to be Geelong's second goal kicker behind Gary Ablett.
Here he is. An eye for a goal, and he's got this one. 9-7 plays 5-3.
So one goal, one to Robert Scott.
8-7 plays 9.
Can we get it right? There he is, Robert Scott. He's been a regular State of Origin player for Victoria, and a very good kick for goal also. And playing now on the ball, picking up Darren Pritchard.
So the margin again moves out to some 22 points. Hocking out of the centre. He's been dynamic. Riccardi was interfered with. Play goes on. Bairstow pressurised over the line on the full.
Well, why would you even try to kick it in that situation? He was under enormous pressure. Just keep paddling it in front.
Baxter to take it for the Hawks. There were 3 Geelong players there. They could have rattled that. Ken Hinkley finally decided it was his.
There again, not enough hard contesting across half forward by the Hawks.
Stoneham and Madigan. Stoneham too strong. Towards Ablett. Spoilt by Langford. Pressure once again on Langford. He dropped it like a hot potato. Bairstow marks on the 50.
Very lucky there, Chris Langford. You're right, Sandy. He just threw the arms out when he was tackled. The umpire may not have been in the right position to see that. Here he is. Here's the tackle. Just threw it out.
However, his chip finds Mark Bairstow. He's going to be kicking from 55. Well, he really does let it go. He's found the top of the post.
Must have been a great speech that Langford gave the umpire a few minutes ago.
It's worked.
Hasn't it? Got to patent that one.
2-0 he's leading since that discussion. He'll bring it back into play. 56 plays 33.
There's Langford. Straight down the middle. Stoneham, great mark.
Coming into his own. Coming into his own now, Stoneham.
Some of the prime movers for Hawthorn. Platten 4 possessions. Condon 3, Crawford 2. They've gone missing a few of them. Stoneham goes in short, and the mark is held by Brown.
You look at the Hawthorn side, Dennis, and you've got Gowers at centre-half forward, and Madigan playing only his second game for the season, playing at centre-half back. The two key position areas, they really are struggling in this year. Paul Deere, the Norm Smith medalist from 1991, already on the interchange bench.
Brown goes for home. Just missed. Alan Joyce with his problems. 8-9 plays 5-3. Margin 24 points. Nugent makes a break on the left. Baxter. Away in the distance, Collins. Langford, meantime, drives to the outer side. Big pack at the fall of the ball. It came forward. Allen was smothered there, upended. Jarred free. It's taken by Pritchard close to the boundary line, but free kick. An illegal Shepherd, and Brown, I think, will get the free kick.
It was pretty handy last week against North Melbourne, Paul Brown.
He was a good player last season. Kicked close to 40 goals, I think, for Geelong. Trying to win a permanent place last year. They've got some talented players that can bob up on their forward line. Hickmott's another one. Forsman. Brown goes for distance. Bunn comes over the top, angles the fist towards the boundary line. It's out of bounds.
38 goals he kicked last year, Dennis, Paul Brown. It's good to see him back in the forward line.
Okay, give me a 9.5.
There's the throw in. Stoneham doing the ruck work, trying to get it over the back. Accommodate Hocking or Bairstow. Here's Buddha. Behind. He tried to bend it back to no avail. But what a game he's having.
It's like a boxing contest, isn't it? Geelong have got Hawthorn on the ropes and just pounding them, but they can't finish them off.
Langford again.
They said they kicked accurately. It would have probably just about been all over at this stage.
They've kicked 2-4 so far in this quarter. Hawks have added a goal. There's a fine mark taken by Lawrence. But they only need a couple to get a sniff. It's a fine spoil. On the outer side, Ken Hinkley runs back.
Johnny Platten pretty quiet up until this stage of the match. 2 kicks and 2 hand passes.
Barnes and Lawrence twisting and turning with each other. Allen may get a free kick. He's had 8 kicks. Has been busy. Gets underneath that one. Barnes, front spot. And got paid.
Gee.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That was amazing. Certainly looked like a mark.
I think
let's have a look at it again. There he takes the grab. Oh, 50-50. I think I would have paid it. Initially, I would have paid it, Dennis.
Barnes wins it. Look at Steele with strength. Gets it out wide to Couch. Bit of room to run, then swings onto the left foot and goes high. Up towards Stoneham and Madigan. Stoneham. Well, he's given away a free kick.
Oh, no. What? I thought that was just excellent use of the body there by Barry Stoneham. The Geelong crowd can't believe it also. Here we see it again, just body on body, and that was just a strength in the upper body winning out. That is an absolutely disgusting decision.
Some very puzzling decisions, to say the least, just in the last minute or so, but nevertheless, Madigan has the football. That's all that's important. Up over the centre. Barnes again with that very aggressive fist away. Well taken by Hinkley. Kicks round his body. Stoneham's in front. Just a little show of the football, a little show of strength.
Well, can't come from behind the mark there.
50
metres.
What have he 50?
50 metres against Ben Allen.
That's going to take him down to the square.
This is a certain goal. Well, maybe Barry Stunning's little speech worked also, Den.
A different umpire. The other umpire seemed closer. He wasn't. Brad Vernon wasn't going to give the 50. I'll show you. Oh, dear.
Stoneham.
Sometimes I think it can work the other way, can't it?
Oh, yes.
You have a few words to the umpire, look out. They pay you nothing after that.
Especially when you take the mark and just brandish the football. They don't like that at all.
Exactly.
The vice-captain for his first. He makes no mistake.
Right on top in the second quarter, Cardinia Park. We go back to the action, just under 8 minutes remaining in the second term.
Up until this stage of the game.
Doing it alphabetically. Here's Hocking. This is Riccardi. Forward of half back. Long kick down towards full forward. Ablett. Whoa, down he goes.
A little nudge again by Gary Ablett, using the body well. 50-metre penalty not being applied there. Maybe a little bit lucky, Chris Langford.
Yes, I think
if that had happened in the first 3 rounds, Dennis. But the umpires certainly have relaxed their attitude towards a 50-metre penalty.
Well, I think at the present time, Chris Langford's disposition matches the clouds above the grandstand. He's not a happy camper. Here's Ablett. He's kicking at his 5th. Sharp angle. Runs around, pulls it back. Guess what? Ablett has 5, and the Cats resisting every challenge.
699 career goals now to Gary Ablett. 113 goals for the season. Just the use of the body there again. And as we saw, just a little bit of attention there from Chris Langford. He uses the ball very well, Gary Ablett. Once he gets hold of it, it's almost certainly a goal.
37 points is the margin, favouring the Cats. The chant Geelong goes up as Allen tries to win it out of the middle for the Hawks. They need something dramatic now. Barnes drops what he should have taken in the centre. Condon is in all sorts of trouble. So too is Pritchard. Dropped the football, but recovered. Picks it up, gives it up to Crowe, who's just come onto the ground. He looks for Dunstall. With him is O'Reilly, and he defends to the line.
Well done by the big bloke, Stephen O'Reilly. 3 goals kicked on him in that first quarter. On Jason Dunstall. Dunstall really has been starved of opportunities, though, in this second term.
Under 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Hawthorn have it in their attacking zone. They've managed only 1 goal for the quarter. Hudson has been quiet. Again, it's close to the line. They caught one high.
That's against Condon. Gary Hocking, just a few words to Condon.
Kenny Hinkley can go short to Gary Hocking. He does. Who in turn drifts at the centre wing and Barnes.
That's a better mark by John Barnes. Committed on that occasion.
He's having a pretty good day. Goes up towards Stoneham territory. With him is Madigan. Couch waiting down in front. And Baz has given away another one.
John Barnes off and Steve Handley on for Geelong.
And Deere coming back on the ground for Hawthorn. Hudson is off. Madigan's high kick towards the centre. Handley, second take to Robert Scott, who belts it down towards Couch.
Oh, grab hold of the ball.
Hinkley, after advice from Quinlan, kicks it towards full forward. Brown can't take a mark. He may sock her off the ground. Can't do so. And eventually it's Collins on the last line of defence, going towards the back pocket. The players stopped. I think they thought the whistle had sounded, and then they've called play on. Players are going down like 9 pins. A lot of questions being asked. And the bottom line is a bounce in the Cats' left forward pocket.
Stoneham in front. Tries to get it down to Brown. Flicked out of bounds by Jenke. It will be thrown in. So Geelong at 10-10, Hawthorn at 5-3, and I suppose it's an interesting time this for Malcolm Blight. I mean, they're finishing full of running, as he would want them to do. But then, of course, such a finish can actually create pressure for the coach, if that makes sense. People wondering why the heck they didn't make the finals. Brown to Gary Hocking. They still could, of course. They're playing irresistible football at the present time, and look at Hocking work in there. And we've got a ball up. He's still working. He's on overtime.
Well, this is just using up energy.
19 possessions to Gary Hocking. A little bit macho, though. They want to come up with the ball. He's seen to give it to him. 4.5 minutes till half-time. Madigan. Up he goes. Stoneham beats him, though. Brown fists Bolwood. Langford, who's very Ablett conscious at the present time, and why not? Collins slaps it out of the pack, taken by Stoneham, hard against the boundary line. Touch ball is the call. Somebody does have a whistle down there.
It's a boundary umpire.
Well, that figures. That's okay. I like the status quo to be maintained, Bernie. So we've got a throw in. Over the top, Jakey, back towards the boundary line. This is Brown. Hocking, the impossible angle. Ablett, oh, well.
Steele.
Terrific mark by Steele.
I tell you what, he's played a terrific game today, Darren Steele.
Very effective last week on the forward line against North Melbourne as well.
And actually an unlikely forward. He's been used mainly in defence for North Melbourne. In his 119 games he played for North Melbourne. Darren Steele.
And I think at the last moment, Ablett backed off just a little when he sensed Steele was going to complete the mark. And now Steele, from 5 metres out, completes the goal. His first, Geelong's 11th, and they're storming away with this. 11-10 to 5-3. And bear in mind, percentage in the run home for those teams in the top 6 also important. So Hawthorn can't take a whipping here.
No, well, Geelong's percentage very poor coming into this match, 106%. On level points with Melbourne. Melbourne's percentage 111.7%. There's that terrific mark from Darren Steele. He's playing a wonderful game for the Cats.
Geelong are big leaders. We go back to the middle again. 76 plays 33. Lawrence up against Barnes. Neither is decisive. Hanley it is on the ground. Couch somehow gets through to McGrath. Left foot, long kick up towards the 50-metre line. Good attempt to mark by Raymond Jenke. Not going to be paid. Cooper's short kick only as far as Hanley.
Great pressure from the Geelong forwards.
If he wants it. Perhaps took a little too long before giving it to McGrath, who pumps it deep into the attacking zone again. In towards Ablett, in towards Steele, Stoneham, Couch and Bairstow. It's the latter who gives a short little chip. Collins is under pressure from Ablett. Now Ablett's got to beat 2 here, and he decides on the boundary line. Let's keep it in the area, he says. And that's what he does. He needs 1 goal for his 700. Gary Ablett. Metres out from the Cats scoring zone. They've done plenty of that this quarter. Pritchard takes it. High floating kick. Couch eyes only for the ball. Lost it from Allen. Colbert through, but couldn't take it. Jarman gets the hand pass off to Allen. Up towards Deere on centre wing. Wanted to go back to Allen again, but Steve Hocking was there. Through comes the rack. Hughes does beautifully. McGrath had it spent, but managed to regain composure and float it up towards half-court. Somehow it stays in play. Langford back towards the middle, only as far as Colbert.
Too easy.
Excellent number.
Too easy. Hawthorn players standing there watching him take the mark. Some heavy work done by Scott Crow there a minute ago. A good tackle on Steve Hocking, and an excellent bump further afield.
Well, he's only a rookie, Colbert, but he looks to have a fine future. McGrath around Platten. Centering kick, it's not good. Pritchard takes the mark uncontested.
1.5 minutes till half-time. Pritchard plays on. He's had a better second term than he did first. Finds Paul Deere. Releases Platten 70 metres from goal. Dunstall, who's been starved of opportunities, showed it that time. Normally he would have held that, but spilt to Buse. Rebound opportunity for Gary Hocking. Look at that, worth a kick. Whoa, Hickley. A little bit of sparring. He gets it to Riccardi. I like that. Bairstow kicks inside the 50. Where's Ablett? In from the side. Jenke, the leaper, slapped away by Stoneham, taken by Brown. Couch misses to the left-hand side.
A little bit of shadow boxing there by Kenny Hickley. Dodging and weaving the shadows. There's not too many around today.
You wouldn't wouldn't like to see that replayed, would he? Here's Langford. 11-11 to 5-3. What a blitz it's been. Just the one scoring shot by Hawthorn in this term. As Langford drives to the outer side, Lawrence the leaper. Ricochets off Madigan. Collins forces it back to Madigan, who proceeds to put it out of bounds on the full. So at quarter time it was 6-6 to 4-3. So 10 scoring shots to 1 in this term, and Geelong could have slammed the gate shut by now had it not been for an accurate kicking. Well, he's the master of that. He is in rare form today, Hinkley, as he boots down inside the 50. Off hands Ablett, a half chance. Hawking like to back him in from here, 35 metres out. Inspirational goal.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1993 AFL Premiership season.
Well, they looked a final side, didn't they? Geelong in the first half, they kicked 6 goals to 1 in the second term. Incidentally, they kicked 5 to 1 earlier this year in the second quarter against Hawthorn at Waverley Park. At half-time, they had a big lead. It was 12-11 to 5-3. So the Cats by 50 points at the long break. Let's go back to the second half highlights.
Crow inside the 50, runs outside now. Paul Deere back to Crow. Crow 45 metres out. They need a goal. And that, I think, is one.
Collins is also there. Collins has possession. He's outside 50. Will look in towards Jarman, who's on his own and will go over the top. This time it is too easy for the Hawks as Dunstall kicks a much-needed goal. He's kicked 5 for the day. It's close. He's got it. 700 goals to Gary Ablett. Colbert, a short little chip to Brown at half forward. I think that's maybe who it was meant for. Steele back to Colbert. He should go. He does. Swings it to half back. Bairstow, nice use of the body. He may get a run here with Riccardi. Does so. Centering towards half forward. Ablett. And this to just sneak above his weekly average. Straight over the goal umpire's head. Still with a faint hope of perhaps seeing a bit of finals action. Who knows? Stoner. Yes. Down looking for Couch. Riccardi applies a good tackle. Out it comes to Hawking. Oh, geez, a worker. Robert Scott from 48 metres. There's another nail in the coffin.
Nicely, Colbert to Couch. He's knocked up getting possessions as well. 32 of them now. Bairstow, 60 metres from goal, unloads with a spiral, and it's nice. It's good. It's a goal.
Oh, Geelong bolting in. 82 points in the end. 22 goals, 18, 150 over Hawthorn, 10-8, 68. Ablett got 8. He's got 116 for the year, more than 700 in his career. Stoneham got 4, and for Hawthorn, Dunstall's got 5. He's got 98 for the year and 885 in his career. But a bad story for Hawthorn. They're struggling. They've got West Coast next week. Who knows? Geelong have got a bye in Essendon, and then they've got West Coast in Perth. We take a break after this. The concluding stages of the match.
Now with tonight's sport and Jim, Geelong certainly a premiership threat if they can make the 6.
Sure are, Mitch. The Cats' relentless charge towards a finals berth continued this afternoon when they made Hawthorn look second-rate at Cardinia Park. For the third week in a row, the Cats were outstanding. Gary Ablett booted 8 as the Cats stormed to an 82-point victory. Drew Morford has the highlights.
Ablett, having passed the century last week, just went out to play today, and how he played.
The master starts work early.
It was a shootout between the two full forwards. Jason Dunstall at the other end matched Ablett for goals in the first quarter.
Dunstall comes on the lead. Great footy.
They both had 3 goals to quarter time in a magnificent show. But the prime mover for the Cats' 15-point lead was Gary Hawking, who continued his great form. In the second quarter, the Hawks had just 1 scoring shot, but it was Jarman.
And he can kick these.
The Cats kicked another 6, Ablett having a field day on Langford.
Sharp angle. Runs around, pulls it back. Guess what?
Hawking gathered 22 possessions to half-time as Geelong tore their way to a 50-point lead. Barry Stoneham proved Geelong could have won with one hand tied. Ablett kicked his 700th career goal on his way to a game haul of 8.
He's got it.
Dunstall kicked 5s for 98 for the season. But the Cats kicked the last 7 goals of the game, beating the Hawks at Cardinia Park for the first time since 1984. Drew Morfitt, 7 Nightly News.